Hey everyone, it's Boogeyman Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone had a nice day. Today's video is part 2 of my new video series this week, which I've titled Underrated Horror Films. And that's where I'm gonna be focusing on horror films that I think don't get the praise that they deserve. Yesterday I talked about the movie with Jeff Fahey called Body Parts. Today will be a film directed by James Wan, and the film I'm referring to is Dead Silence. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the plot of this film and what my thoughts are on it and why I think it's underrated, and I hope everyone enjoys this review, and please stay tuned. Now, Dead Silence would be James Wan's first directorial effort after the Saw film, the original Saw film that came out in 2004. This film came out in March of 2007. It stars Ryan Kwanten of True Blood fame as Jamie Ashen, Amber Valletta as Ella Ashen, Donnie Wahlberg as Detective Lipton, Michael Farriman as Henry Walker, Bob Gunton as Edward Ashen, and Judith Roberts as Mary Shaw. The film was directed by James Wan and written by Leigh Whannell and James Wan. Upon the murder of his wife at the beginning of the film, Jamie Ashen returns to his hometown of Ravensfair in search of answers, and finds out that his wife's murder may be linked to the ghost of a murdered ventriloquist named Mary Shaw. Now, James Wan, of course, is a force to be reckoned with in the horror genre, thanks to films like Insidious, Insidious 2, and of course The Conjuring, which I still think is one of the scariest horror films made in the last 10 years. I was very surprised, though, that this film did not do better at the box office. This was coming right off of James Wan's success during the Saw films, and this film came out when the torture-esque type horror films. I don't like torture porn, I hate that term, but there was a theme of torture in several of the horror films that were being released during this time period. This came out in 2007, so you had films like Turistas and Captivity and Hostel 2, which was about to open, and Hostel had already come out the year before, and then you of course had the Saw franchise, which was just about to release the 4th film. And this was a ghost story, which wasn't the big hook back then. I think with Paranormal Activity sort of peaking in 2009, then you had more of the ghost story vibe towards the horror films, and then the genre sort of peaked again, and those types of films were getting made with ghost stories. And I think that's why Insidious was so popular, because it came out after the Paranormal Activity films were starting to take off and become really successful. I think Dead Silence was ahead of its time. This film is fucking scary as hell, and I don't understand why more people don't talk about it. I personally think that this is a scarier film than Insidious. The Legend of Mary Shaw is very scary. It reminds me of the Freddy Krueger legend in Springwood and everything from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, whereas in Ravensfair it's about this woman who was a ventriloquist named Mary Shaw, and it almost pays homage to Freddy Krueger, to Candyman a little bit, but yeah, it's very well done. And the cast is great. The music by Charlie Clouser, who did the Saw scores, is scary. Everything about this film is just really, really scary. And everyone in the cast is great. I think James Wan and Leigh Whannell wrote a tremendous script. And I think more people need to give this movie a chance. I still think it's scary even after it's been out. It came out 7 years ago almost, but I never hear anybody talking about it. When they talk about James Wan, they always talk about Conjuring and Insidious Part 2, and Saw, and they never talk about this film or Death Sentence. And I do like Death Sentence, but I love Dead Silence. I think Dead Silence is my favorite film from James Wan, next to The Conjuring. And fans of his work, if you like his directing style and the way that he shoots his films, and you like the types of scares that he's known for, you need to do yourself a favor and check this film out. You will not be disappointed, and I'm hoping that over time this film starts to get some of the much-deserved praise it's long overdue, because I really think this film is underrated. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to give too much of the plot away like I've done with Body Parts when I talked about that film yesterday, but this is a film worth checking out for Halloween especially, so go out and Redbox it. You know, I check iTunes or Netflix or whatever you can to try to pick this one up and just give it a watch. And let me know what you think. So that's going to be it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll have another video where I talk about another underrated horror film in time for Halloween watching. And I hope everyone has a great evening, and I thank you very much for watching this video, and take it easy.